Everybody, KSA Chris here, the Real Estate Blitz. Want to do a quick video for you. I'm gonna probably do about 3 or 4 here real quick, so I have some stuff to post up for you all this week. So this first one is kind of talking about where's the cheese, right? I mean, look, the market shifted. Let's just get past using the word shifting. It shifted. It's already shifted. So, the challenge that we're running into, a lot of the agents that are on our team are running into, they keep coming to me and saying, look, people want to sell their house, but their biggest concern is, if I sell this house, even though I'm going to get top dollar, I got to buy a house that's roughly at the same price, right? And it's going to have higher interest rates. And it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. So what I've been telling my agents is trying to focus a little more on understanding who can sell without having to buy. First off, I want to say it doesn't matter what the market is. It doesn't matter what's going on in the market. It's always a good market. It's just a matter of making sure that you adjust to the market that's going on at that moment. And that's how you learn to help more people. Just you help different people each time in order to make a profit. So with that said, right, let's talk about the market that we're in. It's really tough because, we're out here in California. We're in Southern California. So I have people watching me from all over, not just the US, but other countries. I don't know if this is going on in your markets, but I can only talk to what I know. What I know is a Southern California market. And we have offices in Riverside County, and we have an office in San Diego County. So we have 2 offices in 2 different places for Southern California, right? So if we're seeing that people are just really starting to shy away with selling, still stuff going on in the market, we got to think about, because they can't buy here again, or they think they can't because interest rates are going up so much, who has a house that could sell that they are concerned about having to buy, right? And honestly, what I've been trying to preach and teach, and I'm doing it myself, I'm actually sitting down doing about 200 calls a day, strictly going after those potential true investors or people that are unintentional investors. What do I mean by that? Absentee owners, people that already have a house and they don't, it's not their primary residence, right? So what is an absentee owner? Well, I basically just said what it was. Somebody that has another house that's not their primary residence. How do people get to become an absentee owner? There's a lot of different ways. Some people intentionally, purposely do it. They go out and purchase properties in order to rent those properties, because rents are always going to be good, right? There's always going to be a renter no matter where you buy these homes. Sometimes they were trying to flip it. They needed an exit strategy. They rented it, or they purposely bought it for cash flow, appreciation and depreciation on that property. So they can, it's an investment. Then there's other people that are unintentional investors. Unintentional investor is usually somebody like one of their parents died, or somebody died in the family. They got this asset. They decided to hold on to it and rent it. Those are usually my favorite ones. And it's just because they really don't understand. They've had that property for a good amount of time. They don't understand what it's actually worth and how much they could take that money and roll it into something else. Now, I'm going to teach you something here in a minute that's very beneficial. I'm going to make sure I take a note of that. All right. I've done other videos on that too. But unintentional investors, it could be something like that. It could be grandma owned a house. Grandma ended up in a facility, or granddad, or whatever you want to say. And they end up in a facility. So they're no longer living in that property, but it's being maintained by somebody else. So I'm looking at absentee owners right now. And along with lawyers, different types of lawyers are pretty fantastic. If you're into farming lawyers, I did a podcast some time ago on that. Maybe I'll post it up. But let's just stick to one specifically, because my goal is not to just get you on this idea, but to help you think. I want you to think about the other things that could potentially be out there for you to use and leverage. So what we're looking for are people that can sell their property, that don't need to buy another property in the area in order to survive. They already have a primary residence. You can get those lists. There's a ton of different places online. I'm not going to get into all of that, but you can Google it. Get an absentee owner list. Typically on the absentee owner list that you're going to get, excuse me, on that absentee owner list that you're going to get, they're going to give you the secondary residence address. They're going to give you a phone number, a name of the trust or person that owns the property, and they're going to give you their actual primary residence mailing address. All of that is important for other things I'm going to teach you later. Because I'm going to go deep into this. I'm going to do another follow-on video to this. So what I want you to know is we're starting to refocus with where the market is and chasing listings from people that already have a property or multiple properties that they don't need to buy in order to sell those properties, because they already have a primary residence. You're going to get that information by going after an absentee owner list. You need to go ahead and get an absentee owner list. And from that absentee owner list, you need to prepare yourself. And I'm going to teach that in the next video. You need to prepare yourself on how to reach out to these people, cold call these people, and set up basically a farm. You're doing a cold call farm. And I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about this, but I think it's going to be kind of cool. But the big one is you need to educate yourself on when you talk to these people, because they're either unintentional investors or they are true investors. You need to educate yourself on what is important to them, and you need to know what that means to be an investor and how they can sell those assets, protect those profits through whether it's through some type of a tax shelter or purchasing other properties. Now, this is the best part. If you get somebody that is an unintentional investor or an investor that's an absentee owner, right? You can talk them into saying this, and this. I'm going to teach you how to sell your home for this much money, and then we're going to look to use a 1031 exchange. I'm telling you, Google this. I'm going to be doing an interview from one of the best 1031 exchange companies nationwide that I've worked with. In the future here very soon, probably in the next week or two, I'm going to do a webinar online. So anybody that wants to jump on there can jump on there. Leave me a comment down below and I'll make sure that I add you to that when I'll post it up on this video too later. But doing a 1031 exchange to purchase multiple or like properties of some sort in order to keep basically hedge, you get away from paying that tax, capital gains, no capital gains, to roll it into multiple properties or another property that's going to give you a better cash flow return, and also more appreciation, and be able to, depending on how long they held that property, be able to depreciate that property again. So where do you find that information? Great question. Dude, there's so much information out there, but I would tell you, I'm a huge fan of Bigger Pockets. I might even do just a video on that. I'm a huge fan of Bigger Pockets. It's a website. Just type in biggerpockets.com. Their podcast is freaking fire as well. And you can start listening to podcasts. You can start reading articles and start looking at and educating yourself on what does it mean to be an investor when it comes to buy and hold properties, when it comes to flipping, when it comes to mobile home parks, pretty much anything in the investor world. Biggerpockets.com is going to have it. That's probably the number one place I would send you. And of course, there's a lot of other spots, but just start there. So that's all I got right now. I like to keep these down to about 5 to 10 minutes at tops. I know some people have told me I got to do longer videos, but I want you to be able to consume something quick while you're driving, or even if you're just sitting down and doing your morning constitutional, right? And you have something that you can listen to that's going to feed your mind a little bit, so it'll help you be a little more successful this week and also in your future. That's all I got. Do me a favor, like, share, comment. I always like the comments. I try to reply to all the comments at least once a month, if not every week. And I'd love to hear whatever you got. I'm going to do some other videos of questions. If you got questions, if I know something, I'm here to tell you. I'll tell you what I know and what works for me. I can't, look, I'm not an expert. I'm not a guru. I'm not selling a coaching program. I post these videos up mostly for the agents on our team. And it turns out a bunch of other people like watching them around the country too. So if you're one of those people, do me a favor, like, share, and comment. And definitely subscribe to the page. The more subscriptions I get, the more people this information gets in front of. Other things to look up online, I'm on Instagram, KSA Kris with a K. That's just like my life stuff. But if you want to see more stuff from the Real Estate Blitz, I have a Facebook page, and we just started something called RE Mob out here in Southern California. So if you're in Southern California and you want to start stepping in, we got seminars, like some fire seminars coming up. We do some lunch mobs as well. Go ahead and check out RE Mob on Facebook and join that page and catch up on some of our future stuff. So that's all I got today. Appreciate you, and we'll talk at you all later.